In the shadows of gleaming skyscrapers and bustling city streets, a quieter exodus is taking place. Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane, once the crowning jewels of Australian urban life, are witnessing a significant shift. Residents are packing up, not for greener pastures abroad, but for quieter corners within their own vast country. This migration raises a compelling question. What drives Australians away from their largest cities? The heart of this urban exodus beats to the rhythm of skyrocketing costs and diminishing returns. Living in Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane has become a costly affair. These cities, renowned for their vibrant culture and economic opportunities, now rank among the most expensive in the world. The cost of basic necessities such as food, transportation and healthcare has seen a relentless uptick, putting immense pressure on residents. Comparatively, cities like Tokyo and New York, while also expensive, offer different kinds of compensations, such as higher average salaries and more housing options. This part of the essay explores how the cost of living in Australia's major cities compares unfavourably on a global scale, pushing residents towards more sustainable alternatives. Rental markets in Australia's major cities are notoriously volatile. Over the last decade, rents have surged at a pace that wages simply haven't kept up with. This section delves into the stories of individuals like Emma, a healthcare worker from Sydney, who spends over 50% of her income on rent alone. Emma's story is not unique, but is emblematic of a widespread issue driving the city exodus. Economic reports and personal anecdotes combine to paint a detailed picture of the rental crisis. This analysis helps to understand not just the figures, but the human experiences behind the statistics. Owning a home in Sydney, Melbourne or Brisbane used to be a feasible goal for many Australians. However, recent fluctuations in mortgage rates have made this dream increasingly elusive. This section examines the trajectory of mortgage rates over the past 10 years, highlighting their impact on both aspiring and current homeowners. Discussions with financial experts and case studies of families struggling to keep up with mortgage payments provide a comprehensive overview of the challenges faced by many Australians today. The insights gathered here shed light on the broader economic forces at play, which are reshaping the landscape of Australian housing. The meteoric rise in property prices across Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane has been nothing short of dramatic. Over the past decade, housing prices have more than doubled, making the dream of home ownership increasingly unattainable for the average Australian. In this section, we delve into historical data that charts this rise and discuss its profound impact on various demographic groups, particularly young families and first-time buyers. The narrative is further enriched by the experiences of individuals like John, who postponed his wedding to save for a house, only to find prices had escalated beyond his reach once he had sufficient savings. This personal angle not only humanizes the data, but underscores the emotional and societal toll of the housing affordability crisis. Quality of life is an elusive, multifaceted concept that goes beyond mere economic metrics to include environmental quality, personal safety, and psychological well-being. This section explores the reasons why many Australians are now prioritising these factors over the convenience of city living. The allure of less traffic, lower crime rates, and a closer-knit community is drawing more city dwellers to rural and regional areas. Interviews with residents who have made the move reveal a common theme: a search for a more balanced, fulfilling life. This discussion not only highlights individual motivations, but also points to a broader cultural shift in the perception of what constitutes a desirable lifestyle. While Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane lose some of their residents, other areas in Australia are burgeoning. Places like Hobart, Canberra and regional Queensland are becoming increasingly popular. This section provides an overview of these alternative destinations, discussing their economic opportunities, lifestyle benefits, and why they are attracting ex-city dwellers. The benefits of these areas are manifold, from affordable housing and abundant natural beauty to less crowded schools and shorter commutes. By comparing these features to the major cities, the essay highlights why these regions are now considered more appealing. The departure of residents from Australia's major cities isn't without consequences. This section examines the economic impact of the population decline on Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane, from potential decreases in property values to impacts on local businesses and public services. The ramifications are extensive. Analysts and city planners provide insights into how these cities can adapt to these changes. This includes strategies to revitalise these urban centres and make them more attractive to potential residents and investors. The long-term economic health of these cities may depend on their ability to reinvent themselves in response to these demographic shifts. Faced with the challenges of urban exodus, governments at various levels have implemented a range of policies aimed at addressing the issues of housing affordability, quality of life, and economic balance. This section reviews these initiatives, from tax incentives for first-time homebuyers to investments in regional infrastructure designed to attract city dwellers. The effectiveness of these policies is critically analysed, drawing on data and expert opinions to assess their impact and suggest areas for improvement. This analysis is crucial for understanding what has been done, what is working, and what further measures could be taken. The recent surge in remote work opportunities has significantly influenced residential patterns. This section explores how the ability to work from anywhere has empowered many Australians to move away from urban centres without sacrificing their careers. The future of work and its potential to further disrupt traditional living arrangements is also discussed. Industry leaders and remote workers share their experiences and insights, providing a glimpse into the evolving landscape of work and its implications for urban planning and lifestyle choices. The shifting demographics in Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane are not just numbers on a chart, they represent significant social changes. This section examines how these shifts affect community dynamics, cultural diversity, and social cohesion. The departure of young families, for instance, impacts schools and local businesses, reshaping the social fabric of neighbourhoods. Sociologists and community leaders contribute their perspectives, discussing the challenges of maintaining community identity and cohesion amidst such transitions. This part of the essay underscores the interconnectedness of economic and social factors in urban migration. Moving from urban to regional areas has more than just social and economic implications. It also affects the environment. This section discusses the impact of urban exodus on both city and countryside, from changes in urban sprawl to the pressures placed on rural environments by increasing populations. Environmental experts weigh in on sustainable development practices that can help mitigate negative impacts and ensure that the growth of regional areas is environmentally responsible. This discussion is critical for planning future expansions in a way that respects and preserves natural resources. Relocating involves significant psychological adjustments. This section delves into the emotional landscape of those who decide to leave the city for the countryside. From the stress of moving to the excitement of starting anew, the psychological journey is complex. Psychologists provide insights into the common emotional responses to such major life changes, offering advice on how to manage the transition smoothly. This part of the essay adds depth to our understanding of the human aspect of urban migration. In this section, we delve into several case studies of individuals and families who have successfully transitioned from urban to rural living. These stories highlight the challenges they faced, the strategies they used to overcome them, and the unexpected benefits of their new lives. Each story serves as a source of inspiration and a practical guide for others considering a similar move. By sharing these experiences, we connect readers with the real-life implications of the topics discussed and offer tangible examples of successful adaptation. While many find success in their new homes, others face significant challenges. This section explores the hurdles that some migrants encounter, from cultural adjustments to economic difficulties in smaller towns. We also discuss the support systems and resources available to help new residents adapt, providing a comprehensive view of what it takes to successfully integrate into a new community. This discussion is essential for understanding the full spectrum of experiences associated with moving from urban to regional areas. What does the future hold for Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane? This section offers predictions and expert analyses on the evolving demographic landscapes of these cities. It explores potential scenarios based on current trends, including how these cities can adapt to remain vibrant and viable. Urban planners and demographers provide insights into the strategies that could attract new residents and retain current ones, considering factors like affordability, quality of life, and work opportunities. This forward-looking perspective is vital for planning the next steps in urban development. This essay has traversed the complex terrain of why Australians are leaving Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane. From the cost of living to the lure of a better quality of life, the reasons are as varied as they are compelling. As we look towards the future, the challenge for Australia's major cities will be to reinvent themselves, to once again become places where diverse groups of people can not only live, but thrive. The urban exodus is reshaping Australia's demographic and cultural landscape, presenting both challenges and opportunities. How these cities respond to these changes will be crucial in determining their role on the national and global stage.